Okay, so for this section, we're talking about mortgages. So Dan is our first example. He's shopping for a new home. He found one that's $178,500. A mortgage company offers Dan a 30-year loan with an interest rate of 6.5%. So he has the following questions. How many monthly payments do I have to make? How much is the monthly payment? How much will I end up paying back in total? And then how much of that is interest? So question number one, how many months will Dan have to make payments? Well, it's a 30-year loan and you make monthly payments, so 30 times 12, which would be 360 monthly payments. So there is a pretty complicated formula for calculating the monthly payment. So instead, we're going to use like this table to do it. So what you're going to do is you'll get the monthly payment by looking at a table value, and then you do the amount borrowed over 1,000. So the table value you get by finding the length of the mortgage. So a 10-year mortgage at 4% would be this table value, so 10 years at 4%, or I don't know, a 15-year mortgage at 6%. You would go to that place, so it would be this value right here. And then you multiply by the amount the house is divided by 1,000, or the amount you borrow divided by 1,000. So Dan's monthly payment will be a table value. This was a 30-year loan with at 6.5% interest. So 30 years. So we're looking in this column at 6.5%. So here's the number. So our table value is 6.32068, and then times the amount borrowed. His house was going to cost $178,500, so $178,500 divided by 1,000. And then when you put that into a calculator, you get that his monthly payment would be $1,128.24. Just type that into your calculator. Okay, so going through that process again for Gertrude, she's trying to figure out a monthly payment if she bought a $189,900 home using a 15-year mortgage at 5% interest. So we'll do monthly payment. It's going to be a table value, so 15 years at 5%. So 15 and 5, and look for that value. Just scratch through it. It's 7.90794, and then times the amount borrowed. She's buying $189,900 home divided by 1,000. I always cancel these zeros if I can before I type this in my calculator, just to make my likelihood of making a mistake smaller, I guess. But when you put that into your calculator, you should get $1,501.72. So those are the monthly payments for those two homes using the table values. So back to Dan. He's got this $178,500 home with 6.5% interest for 30 years. So we're going to answer question 3 now. How much will Dan end up paying the mortgage company for his home? So Dan's making 360 monthly payments of $1,128.24. So we're going to do $1,128.24 times 360. So his monthly payment times the number of months. And then when you do that, you get $406,166.40. And then the last question is how much of the loan payback is interest? So what you're going to do is do that total. So the total minus the house, right? So 406,166.40 minus $178,500, which is $227,666.40. So he pays well more than the house just in interest. So, yes. Okay, that should bother you a little bit. All right, so payment calculators are easy to find online. They have like actually Google Sheets or Excel sheets now that you can use to when it's time for you to look at buying a home, and you can shop around for different lenders and different mortgage rates, and a little change in the interest rate can change things significantly, especially in the long term. So, you know, do your shopping. Okay, number 5, the monthly payment for a $78,500 home at 8% interest for 20 years. So monthly payment, we need a table value for 8% interest for 20 years. So 8% interest in 20 years, so 8.36440. 8.36440, and then times the amount borrowed, 78,500, divided by 1,000. Again, I cancel zeros if I can, and then type this into your calculator and you will get 656.61. Okay, one more, and then we'll do the rest together. So number 6, suppose you have a bank offering you a 30-year mortgage at 6% interest. You have looked at your budget and you've decided that the largest monthly payment that you can afford, this is really the way that you should buy a house, the largest monthly payment that you can afford is $1,250. So what's your max budget for house shopping? So we know that your monthly payment is going to be $1,250 or less, right? And this is going to be some table value. So 30-year mortgage at 6%. 30 years at 6% is 5.99551. 5.99551 times, this is the amount borrowed, this is your house. This is going to be your max budget divided by 1,000. You can multiply both sides by 1,000 or go ahead and divide this guy by 1,000, whichever makes more sense to you. I'm going to do that, 0.005995551 times the house, and that's going to equal 1,250, and then divide that out, and you get that your budget for your house it's going to be 1,250 divided by this number, right? You would divide both sides by this. 551. Okay, and you get 208, 489, 35. So you should spend no more than that on your house to stay within your actual like monthly budget of $1,000, $1,250. Okay, so in class we'll talk more about this. You guys will do some examples, and then we're going to talk about what actually happens with the mortgage payment and how you pay off the interest first. Okay, email me if you have any questions, and I will see you in class.